For me to come in and be able to, in the first 30 days, meet with the leadership of every single district, understand both the successes that they had this last year as well as their highest priorities moving forward, was a huge plus. And on top of that, I've had the opportunity to now visit 17 of the 19 districts in the first couple of months, and have a really good conversation with each individual district. There's a number of projects, so there's a lot going on right now. Component 5 and our teacher evaluation system is just one of them. We invited 4 members of every single school over the course of 4 days to sit down with us to have a conversation about what this policy looks like, and to make sure that they had the tools and the understanding as they start to launch into the school year. There's a lot more support to be done. There's additional trainings, there's additional web-based resources and online resources and guides and manuals. But this was a start. This was finally to be able to say to people at the end of July that this is where our policy is. Maybe that's the end of the work, and I think it's actually just the first step of a very long journey. And the journey is really about ensuring that our teachers are supported, that their evaluations are fair and valid, and that they feel authentic and meaningful. We are one of the states who have adopted the Common Core standards, and we are working towards implementation. And what we are seeing right now is that especially in this last year, we have seen a number of our districts and especially some of our teachers and school teams do some really good work to understand those standards. What does this look like? What does this mean? We've got many districts who have started that work, and actually a couple of districts who are pretty far along. But as a state, I do not believe that we have gained the serious momentum that we need to gain with the Common Core. So one of the things that has happened in the last 5 months now, I believe, is that we launched a committee. I believe we started it in March. We launched a committee, and prior to my appointment, I had the opportunity to sit on that committee and actually play a leadership role with that. And in June, we named 6 highest priorities for our department at the state to be able to support our schools. And so where we are right now is working with that committee and with the internal team at the Department of Education to formulate what does that action look like related to those 6 priorities. And we're working that through right now. And the goal is that all of our teachers are moving towards implementation of those standards, and that by the end of next year, not this coming school year, but the following school year, that we have high quality implementation across our entire state, and that our students are not only being instructed in alignment with those standards, but that the assessments that they receive and the planning that our teachers do are totally aligned. What we need to do as a state, and what most other states will be doing as well, is determining over the course of this next 2 years how we can best implement an assessment that's aligned with Common Core. Is that a smarter, balanced assessment? Is that a different version of our current DCAS? We took the DCAS assessment and we took all of the questions that our children get. So they sit down in front of the computer, they read a passage, they take some questions. We took all of those questions and we asked, do those questions currently align to the Common Core state standards? And some of them did, and some of them didn't. And the ones that didn't are removed from the DCAS this year. We are modifying the DCAS in a small way. We're actually not significantly overhauling or anything, but we removed some questions that were not aligned to the Common Core. One of the major benefits of that is that we're able to say to our teachers today that if you teach in alignment with the Common Core standards, then the DCAS will line up with that. At the end of this school year, when the students sit down and take that DCAS assessment, we're going to have a portion of the assessment that is completely and rigorously aligned with the Common Core state standards, and the questions will be at even a higher level. And we're going to provide that opportunity, and we're going to let our students and our teachers know how they did on that opportunity, while at the same time not holding people accountable to great performance on those assessment questions, because they're new. So those 2 pieces are attempts to help to transition us to an assessment that is totally aligned with the Common Core, but in a way that is non-threatening and just provides information to people. a little over a year ago, parents received information on how their children were doing, right? But we weren't totally satisfied with it, and we thought, you know, that parent report that we sent home was okay. It was okay, and it provided some information. I got them, I received them as a parent, and it was all right. But we spent this last year revamping that report. And so what we sent home this summer, and I think I received mine maybe almost a month ago now, what we sent home this summer was much more robust and included much more information to our parents about how their children were doing. The DCAS was new these last couple of years, and people had a lot of questions about it, and I think we're at a point now where our students especially totally understand this assessment and what it means. And our parents are now much better equipped, especially with these summer reports, than they have been in the past. We're working to improve the website at the department. That's one significant move. And that's going to take us a while to get that to a place where we're totally satisfied with how useful that is. We've made some strides, but we need to make some additional strides. The second thing that we are doing, we've started to send out additional newsletters from the department. And those newsletters go to a variety of constituents, but we're communicating more frequently with our constituents in that way, and that through a newsletter way. So you've got a website way and a newsletter way. The third is that we're actually, as a department, dedicating some significant time over these next few months to critically looking at the way that we are communicating. So we as a department right now, as a leadership team over these next couple of months, are going to be taking a really critical look at how we communicate, and we're going to be putting forth a new plan about how we do that. And the full intention is that we will be more comprehensive, and we will be more clear, and we'll be more thoughtful in our communication moving forward. That is on us as school professionals to be able to explain things in a way that people can relate to and people can understand. And especially when we're talking about the needs of an individual child and their individual education plan and how we're meeting that child's specific needs, we need to explain that in a way that people can totally understand and digest, and more importantly, engage in. That it's not about talking at a parent or explaining information. It's about a conversation that happens back and forth. And if you can't engage in that conversation, then it's useless. That we need to call that out as educational leaders at the state level, at the district level, at the school level, that when we see people speaking in a way that is full of jargon, especially new jargon, then we need to be able to explain that. And maybe we use the jargon, but we also add a sentence, and we check for understanding. We make sure that people understand what we're talking about. We throw around these terms like data-driven instruction, or PLCs, or DCAS, or Common Core, and we just expect that people understand what those things are, and that's not fair. I've seen a lot of concern about how we are creating a system of schools that includes our charters in a really healthy and positive way. And I've seen a lot of different opinions about what that should look like and what that shouldn't look like. And so this is an exciting opportunity in the coming months to have a group of people come together and commit time to this specific issue. And the core of this is really about providing our children and their families with opportunities to engage in school in a way that is most meaningful and most relevant and most rewarding. And that looks different for different families, for different kids. And so we should be able to provide our students with different opportunities, an opportunity to attend a school that focuses on science and math, or an opportunity to attend a district school that is in their neighborhood and that they feel most comfortable with, or an opportunity to attend a charter school or a VOTEC school. That those are different opportunities that we should be able to provide as a state, as part of a whole system of schools that our children can choose from. Our role as leaders in education, and as my role and the role of my department, is about supporting our schools. It's about empowering those people who are closest to our children, and it's about providing them with the resources and the routines that they need to do really good work.